What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com and welcome back to another week of Rockets, Hits, and Heartbreaks. And thankfully, we've got another hit to talk about this weekend at Del Mar. It happened on Saturday in the late pick 5. This was a lot of fun, and this was very rewarding for myself personally at the end. I'll get to that in a second. But let's talk about the ticket right now. Let's talk about this pick 5 ticket. A $96 ticket for us once again this week, and we had a single in the fourth leg, the second to last leg. We went 3 deep in the very last leg. And for the rest of the ticket, we were 4 by 4 by 4. So $96 ticket, 4 by 4 by 4 by 1 by 3 in this spot. And man, yeah, it was a lot of fun to get this one home. Almost swept the whole card at Del Mar on Saturday. Lost the very first race, then hit the early pick 4, and then of course the late pick 4 and the late pick 5. So this one was a lot of fun, a $96 ticket. Let me pull up the results now, and we'll kind of go over this together and kind of tell you how we got there. All right, so here are the results. I'm going to just remove my banner there so we get a little bit better look at it. So here are the results. I'll pull up the ticket here on the bottom here so you can kind of follow along. The 9 wins the first race at paying $12. The 4 wins the second race. This is one where I did not feel great after it because we went 4 deep and the favorite won, but we'll talk about spun intended here in just a second a little bit further. So that was an easy win there. Third race, Hong Kong Harry. This is the one that almost knocked us out of it. Hong Kong Harry came charging late. He actually got pounded at the window, came charging late, barely got the job done over Beyond Brilliant. As you see, we went 1, 3, 4, and 8. We left off the 5, and that could have ruined the whole thing, but Hong Kong Harry gets the job done. The single was Hopkins, and that's what happened. He ended up winning fairly easily in this spot. So the single gets home. And then in the last leg, the 2 gets home, pays $33.20. I'll talk a minute here in a little bit when we talk about, how we got to this ticket, why that one was a really big win for me personally as well, other than just cashing on the Rockets here. So 278 to end it. And the 2 gets the job done. And boy, you see, good thing because we did not use the 9 and we did not use the 3 in that race. All right. So you look at it here. The pick 5 payout is right here, $1,188.90 for this one on a $96 ticket. Like I said, it was a lot of fun to get this one home, and big win there at the end to kind of balloon that price up for us. That was a lot of fun to watch come home. All right, let's kind of go over this one by one. We go back to the 5th race here. We used the 4, the 6, the 8, and the 9. And boy, you see, we had the try there. The 4, or the 9, the 8, the 6 come in. So yeah, 3 out of the 4 there. Let's look at let me get back to the 5th race here. Let's look at the past performances. Like I said, 4, 6, 8, and 9, who we used here. And you look right away, and it's basically the top 4 horses on this time form spotlight is who we ended up using. That's not always the way it works. I'll get to in a minute where we did not go that way. But for this one, they were the top 4 horses on the time form spotlight. And they kind of just look like the top 4 horses in the race once you handicapped it. Grit and Curiosity, a horse that had a horrible performance last time out at Santa Anita, going 6.5 down the hill. If you look at some of these other performances at this level, they weren't too bad. Here, 6 furlongs at Santa Anita at the level. Only got beat a length. Was in a tough race here going this distance at Del Mar. 3 races back. Was 6, but only got beat 4. I just thought at the price, this was one to throw in there. Ended up going off at 20 to 1. I'll go back to the results here. And as you see, ended up being a dumb entry. I think, 3rd to last there. So, or a dumb, not a dumb entry, but a dumb pick by us. So I'll take the blame for that one. Maybe we could have saved some money there, but I don't know. It's easy to say that after they run the race. I just thought the horse was going to be a little bit undervalued because of that last race where he just wasn't very good. So anyway, it was a waste. Didn't do much. The 6 real money made a ton of sense getting back to the turf here and dropping down in class. You see a lot of allowance, races on the resume. 50K claimer at Kentucky Downs, which is kind of like an allowance. Just thought the class drop and moving over to Peter Miller with Flavian Pratt made a lot of sense. Didn't run very well, though. Got 3rd. Not that great. I thought Maven, the 8 horse, made a ton of sense as well. Another one dropping down in class. Thought the horse would run pretty well with this drop. 50K level last time out, was in a graded 6, 2 back. Looky here, 3 back at Del Mar, which, pretty good race, and won. So you just kind of thought, well, his best effort would be tough here. And, he ran okay. He got 2nd. you felt kind of good using him because he did run up a pretty good race, but just not quite good enough to get the job done. And then there's Chaos Theory. First off the claim for Pipey. Looked at this number right here. The horse had been off 85 days, but Pipey was 63 to 106-day layoff, had 16 runners, 25% of those had won, so wasn't really worried about that. You know, horse had been okay at this level last time out at Del Mar. Just kind of felt like if the horse had any kind of improvement at all, if they could get this horse kind of back to these races right here, 3 and 4 back, earned pretty good time form numbers. We need to put this horse on the ticket. Third horse on the ticket out of this race, you know, the 4 being the last one on. So it was good to get this one home. 5-1 is what this horse ultimately went off at, a $12 winner in this one. So pretty nice way to kick this thing off. It's got me choked up. All right, 2, 4, 5, and 9. That's what we used in race 6. Boy, it turned out we just needed the 4. Spun Intended. This horse may have a huge future. On debut, Spun Intended, a really nice win, or a really nice second place finish, I should say. I meant to say the winner, Fort Warren, was able to win that race. A Bob Baffert horse that looked very good was bet down hard, but Spun Intended gave this horse a big challenge. And so we really like Spun Intended in this spot today. 4-5 is what the horse went off at. We thought he would be pretty tough. We did like some other ones in here. Bob Baffert had a first-time starter. You're kind of crazy to leave those horses off. I don't care how they're getting bet. So we did use the 2 Barnstorming in this race as well. We thought that horse had a pretty good shot, you know, to run well on debut. Turns out, no, not at all, not whatsoever, not very good at all. We used the 5 in this race. Only got beat a few lengths by Spun Intended last time out. Had a huge improvement first start to second start. Thought if we saw a little bit more improvement out of the 5, maybe he would be one to look at. Go back to results. Yeah, waste. Shouldn't have used that one. We did use the 9, who got second in this race. Another first-time starter for Bob Baffert. Justify, the sire of this one, out of a Bodemeister mare. So 2 horses that Bob Baffert trained there, Justify and Bodemeister. And Johnny Velasquez gets aboard this one. That was another very good sign. Horse ran okay, but just no match for Spun Intended. You might stable this horse Spun Intended up, but he's going to make some noise. You know, 2 races going 1 turn. We'll see if this horse can stretch out in distance or not. Horse is by hard spun of a first dude mare, so I wouldn't be shocked if the horse can go 2 turns. Keep an eye on this one. I think Spun Intended is going to be decent. One to keep an eye on. But a big win there. Never had to sweat that one. He just galloped out and killed him. All right, now we get to the Seabiscuit. Honestly, I thought the handicapping was the worst probably out of the ones for us on this one. I just did not see this race very well, to be honest, and we got lucky. Give credit to Jared. He liked the 3, so we put the 3 on the ticket. I liked the 3 as well. I don't think I would have left him off, but still, you got to give credit to where credit's due there. Pretty good use there of the 3. Gets the job done. I really liked the 1 as we went 1, 3, 4, and 8. I really liked this 1 horse, Santan, but he just didn't run. He just didn't do much running in this race whatsoever. Not good. Not good at all. He was nowhere to be found. The 4, Smooth Like Straight. Looking back, this was just a stupid use on my part. The horse has not been good for a long time. Shouldn't have used him. Plain and simple. Love this horse. One of my favorite ones. Just shouldn't have used him. Didn't do any good. Set Piece. It's just a horse dropping down in class, going back to Del Mar. And you kind of see it. He'd been running against some really tough horses, but he just, I don't know. I don't feel as bad about using this one because he does kind of win at this grade or at this level. But probably one you could have left off as well. So as they come down the stretch, it looks like the 2 and the 5 are going to hold on, or at least the 2 is going to hold on and the 5 is going to pass them late. Hong Kong Harry just put the nose down, got the job done. It's on and on and on. It took that whole stretch, but he was able to do it. Like I said, what a lifesaver, because if the 5 wins this race, you're really kicking yourself. The 5 Beyond Brilliant. We'll go back here to the past performances. You look here, fits from a time form speed figure standpoint. Click on him now. You know, what was way over his head in the Breeders' Cup Mile, but 2 races back, won a race pretty similar to this. You know, didn't run that great at Del Mar, but again, this is a horse you definitely could have used, and we did not. That was almost a really, really big mistake on our part. Like I said, the race I felt like we got lucky, even though, yeah, we had the winner, and the winner of the race, Hong Kong Harry, was a must-use, but he barely got there, and the horse that got second was it one we, looking back, easily could have used and didn't. So we got a little lucky here. Handicapping was a little bit whack in this one, I would say. Handicapping was spot on in the other 4 races. Here's kind of where the luck came in. And if you play these sequences long enough, you know one leg you're going to have to get lucky in usually. And this was the one for us. All right, let's move on, though. Let's move on to happier times, because I am really proud of the handicapping in the last 2 legs of this one. The single here was Hopkins, and maybe I shouldn't say I'm proud that we got this horse on top. He looked pretty obvious to me, but proud that we ended up singling, didn't go too deep and maybe waste a bullet, and then we took off a horse on the other legs that maybe would have won. So the 7 Hopkins was on top for us. First of all, as you look at the time form spotlight numbers, he had the most talent in the race from this, from a potential speed figure. If this horse gets max effort today, max effort is better than anybody else in the race by a pretty good number. 2 races back over this track, first race off of a long layoff, 252 days. He ran pretty well, got second. I just felt like this horse was going to move up today and run very, very well after that late race. Last time out at Santa Anita, he got back going, won by 3 1/4. He stepped up and ran really, really well in the spot. He was the only one I was really interested in. Another way you get to a single sometimes, and maybe not in this case because I did like the horse and he had shown a lot, so you didn't really have to get like too creative past that. But a lot of other times it's like, I don't love anybody else. And so that kind of strengthens that thought to let's do a single. You look at the other 7 horses in the race, a little spotty. I mean, at times these horses have been okay, but overall just kind of left a little bit to be desired. Kind of just leaned toward Hopkins pretty heavy in this race, and it worked out. So we get to the last leg. I've mentioned it a couple times and was really, really exciting about this one. We went 2, 7, 8, so we went 3 deep. My top choice in the race was Percolate, the number 2 horse. Horse is the winner of this race at 15 to 1. So we went 3 deep in here, but we only had to go as deep as my top choice, the 2. So if you don't know, you don't follow the website, religiously, or maybe you just kind of missed it. I'm the one that does the free picks and the premium picks for the website. So anytime you have a free pick winner on the website win at 15 to 1, you feel very, very well, feel very, very good about it. Also, this was the best value race for the premium picks for Del Mar that day. And so when you get that horse home at 15 to 1, it feels great. It's triply great when the horse leads to the biggest payout in your pick 5 for the Rockets as well. So very exciting, to get this horse home. Let's go over it now. We went to 7 and 8. The 7 and 8, obviously, when you look at this, they seem like logical uses here. They both had 111 for the time form spotlights. You look at the 7 horse, obviously just a consistent runner on this circuit and even over on the Kentucky circuit as well. Was kind of moving up in class a bit. That was the worry. But, had speed figures that definitely fit, had races that definitely fit. The race 2 back at Santa Anita at this level almost won. And then the 8 had just been really close at this level a couple times. Lost by a neck last time out at Santa Anita. 2 back here, got second at this level. Second in a Calbred Stakes. Another race, second or won an allowance in the Calbreds, ranks. So a horse that I just really thought would show up and run really well in this spot. Now you go down to the results here, and look, neither one of them really ran that well. So they, thank God the top choice ran very well, because the 7, the 8 were second to last and third to last. The horse I was really against was the 5. And the 5 ended up being the favorite, and we left the 5 off of everything here. Just didn't feel like this horse should go off as favored. I'm really surprised that he did indeed go off as favored. Second race off the layoff, but stretching out in distance. I thought that would be good for the horse, but Calbred Stakes win. Okay, been running against Calbreds. I just didn't like the open company aspect of this. I did not think the horse should be favored. Strong connections. I really like Glatt, Rispoli, obviously, but I just thought this is a favorite we can kind of go against here. I'm not the type that just plays against every favorite because, I just don't want to bet chalk, but I do play against favorites that I don't love. This is definitely one I thought let's take a shot against. We singled a heavy favorite in the last leg, so it was good to try to get some values, or in the second to last leg, I should say. So the last leg here, it was good to try to get some value. All right, beating around the bush. Why I picked the 2 on top and why we used the 2 in this situation. I've seen this a lot, and this is something from experience that I've picked up on over the years as being a big time turnaround for the horse. I love horses that, okay, look, like 5th, 9th, 7th in some of his previous races, and then all of a sudden found some speed early, not a burner, but found some speed and was able to get in some of his races early on, and then still show that kick late, right? And so 3 races back, we kind of got involved. We kind of flattened out. I don't think we really liked the synthetic. This race here, we dropped down in class at Santa Anita to a maiden claiming. We got into the race early a little bit, and we were able to finish and win. Okay, should have won that race, right? Dropped down in class, so definitely should have won that race, and did. This was the big one, though. Starter allowance at Del Mar, moved back up in class. Look at how we sat. We were 3rd, only 3 behind, and we still closed really well. We got beat, but we still closed really well. And we're still, you know, had that turn of foot, even though we were sitting a little closer. I didn't like anybody else in the race. I told you I didn't really like the 5 that well. We went over the other 2 uses, the 7 and the 8. It's like, yeah, they're okay, but you could poke holes in them. This horse seemed like one that was really on the improve. He was stretching now out to 1.16 miles, was able to sit that same trip that he did last time out. Got Johnny Velasquez aboard today. This is a 3-year-old who's been facing older and seems to be getting better each time he faces older. I thought today was the day we were going to see this horse run his best race. Listen, sometimes you get cute and it doesn't work out. This time it worked out very well. Ran a exceptional race here, was able to get the job done. Like I said, 15-1, even better. So all around, very, very happy that this horse was able to get the job done. Paid $33.20 to win. So that was great for the website. And of course, for what we're doing here, the Rockets, $1,188.90. So I want to point out one more thing here about this. If there was a favorite you really liked, or maybe it's not a favorite, that's probably bad wording. If there was a horse I really liked in this race, maybe I don't lean to the 2, but sometimes the competition kind of leans you towards a, hey, let's take a shot. Let's take a price. All levels, whether it's a claimer, an allowance, a maiden, or a stakes. You see those horses, it's like, yeah, these 2 that are going to get bet down a little bit, I don't love. That kind of leads you towards taking a shot. And that was kind of the other biggest thing with Percolate. Thought the horse was improving. Thought the horse would improve with Johnny V. Thought the horse, you know, for whatever reason, had kind of shown life early in the race after kind of being a dead closer. Maybe the horse is just figuring it out. And I thought the horse could run really, really well here in this spot against some horses that I didn't really love. So took a swing. It worked out. Like I said, I'll be the first to tell you, sometimes that does not work out at all, and you look foolish. But when they win, you look like $1 million. And so that was a good way to end a good Saturday of racing at Del Mar. All right, I went on long enough. Like I said, nice to get this one home. $96 ticket, pays almost $1,200. So very happy about that one. All right, guys, thanks to everybody for watching another Rockets Hit and Heartbreaks. If you like these, tune in every week. We'll be back. Well, I'll be back almost every week. Unless we get really, really busy with big-time races, I'll be back, and we'll be discussing these tickets. All right, guys, thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next week.
RacingDudes.com is your home for the best free picks for every race, every track across the country. We're ramping up for the 2023 Kentucky Derby, and we want you to join us in the fun. Subscribe to Racing Dudes YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a single video. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the Racing Dudes.